Greetings! It is time to make the noise to summon the stream. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let's actually stop that for now. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill Quickcard, and welcome back to the Community RPG Maker Project, where we are continuing once more this week to work on the Necropolis. We did not stream this project last week. Last week I was working on my gacha because I had a whole bunch of stuff to work in between week before last and this week, and I have made a lot of new stuff. Not enough that we're out of the Necropolis yet, but I did create the first portion of the mines, which connects to the flesh dungeons that I had created on the last stream. I've done a bunch of work in the armory, in the barracks. I've done a bunch of event work, done some map work in the gardens, worked on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and yeah, this project is going absolutely beautifully. Before I continue, actually, let's just go ahead and show off some of the stuff that I have already created. So let me just add a quick thing here, where we're just going to adjust it all. Haven't done lore for some time. Give me something interesting. I need to make lore. I'm bored. Let me show you this scene, Sulman, and then I think we are definitely going to call upon your lore-making skills. We've got an entire section of this necropolis that I have not developed any of the lore for yet. Just let me show all of this. Okay. So let's show some of the stuff I have been working on. So, I've added a new type of zombie wandering around. Some of them are now going to attack you. So, they're not terribly dangerous. They're basically just here so that, you know, not every zombie you interact with is going to be nice, is basically the whole point. How much does Zenith hit for? Holy hell, that is strong. Then again, that's the entire point of that. So we've got a few feral zombies mixed in with the ones that give you loot. They do have weakness to fire. That has already been integrated into their design. Up here in the barracks, which I have shown off before, there will eventually come an event where, to fight against the False Hydra, you will call upon the entire army of the undead to battle against it. And in order to illustrate that, I made sure that you can actually watch the zombies march out of the barracks. So here is the event just to test that function. And it took me about 3 hours to get all these things to move in sync and to not bunch up. So, Yeah, the finale for this region is actually going to be really impressive. I have a beautiful idea in mind where basically you're going to fight the Hydra, and you will do it instead of controlling your usual party. You'll just control one character called, like, Swarm of Zombies, or something like that. And basically, all the attacks of the Swarm of Zombies scale with its maximum HP. And so the maximum HP is supposed to represent more and more zombies that are being added to the swarm every turn. So in the early turns, you're just trying not to die, but the longer the battle goes on, eventually you just completely overwhelm the opponent. So that actually functions. This actually works. It took so long to make that work. Up here in the armory, so this is what you get to access using the key that you find in the seminary. What is all this? So we look around and there's just a ridiculous amount of material here. There's enough here to field an entire army. And in good condition, too. What was that? It sounds like it came from up ahead. So, yeah, there's an armory. It is filled with stuff, including having a smithery. Zombie barracks, a place that people is to control bodies of the fallen soldiers by reminding them what they were trained for. Really, it's just a place that they store extra weapons and armor. Then eventually you're going to have a boss fight here. This boss fight has not been designed mechanically, but the event at least works. So we can see what happens after the fight is won, somewhat. So there's just a fight against a mysterious zombie boss. It's actually going to die pretty quickly here. It will be turned into a proper boss fight. And then the gate opens up. Ah, this is supposed to disappear. Anyway, it lets you access this room here in the back, which has an elevator. And the elevator takes you back up to the, back to the surface of Wallachia. So first, as you exit this room, you find a book. What's this doing here? Wait, what is all this? What is it? Diagrams, maps, indexes? There's a letter, too. What does it say? It's... Well, go on. You know? I'm starting to think we are actually going to win this. We need to get this to the captain. But where even are we? We were going up for quite a while. We must be back on the surface. So, this was a secret entrance in the Wallachia storehouse, which I finally built. Elena? How'd you get in here? Oh, where to begin? Actually, you should probably just call the captain. There's a lot we all need to talk about. And then we have an event. It's kind of like a briefing. Make sure that the city is, you know, briefed on the threat that they're facing and what's going on. This has been designed rather hastily. It's going to be adjusted, but the basic gist of it will be the same as what I have here. So we are all in agreement then. I believe so. Strange as it sounds, the tale Mr. Bones has shared with us is true. Once we knew what we were looking for and where, it was easy to find hundreds of documents supporting everything. I'm still uncertain if we can really trust all of this, though. Maps, ledgers, reports, plans, some dated decades ago. It would take 100 scribes years to forge all of this. If you knew all of this, why didn't you tell anybody? I did. This is the 3rd time I've sat in a meeting similar to this one, with the ever-dwindling leadership of this once proud city. We sit, we talk, we plan, we try. People die, and then people forget. But this time it seems we have an advantage. Elena, will you please read that letter you found? Yes, Captain. Ahem. My fellow citizens of Wallachia, if you have found these words, then I am dead and forgotten. In life, I was Alana, a guardian in service to the Temple of Death. 4 days ago, I set out to subdue the vile horror that has decimated our people, armed with an ancient blade of tremendous power. The Hydra stalked me from the shadows. I feigned ignorance of its presence. When it finally struck, I was more than ready, and I dealt the monster a dreadful wound. The beast fled. Now I was the hunter. I tracked it through the darkness of the lowest caverns, by bow and magic assailing it whenever it slipped in range. I realized it was trying to lead me into traps. A den of beasts, a collapsing tunnel, a spot of dangerous magical power. Each time I perceived the threat and evaded it. Each time the false Hydra fled deeper, into ruins older than I knew existed. Dark and evil places sealed off long ago. A necropolis beneath the necropolis. There I fought the beast one last time, and wounded it once more. But this time it managed to wound me in return. We both fled that battlefield, it into the depths, and me toward the surface. I thought I might manage to make it, but now I can feel some vile venom from that thing burning its way through my body. I know I will not survive. In hopes of ending this threat once and for all, I have bound the only passage into the ancient ruins with the most powerful rituals still within my power. The sealing implements I cast into the chasm of the grim furnace, where I pray they will be lost forever. For myself, I have one last, distant hope. I know a little of the rituals of undeath by which the Lich Priests preserve their minds beyond death. I intend to attempt the same, though I expect I will fail. In case I do, I am making note of everything I can think might be important, along with where to find the city records we hid away months ago. That much, at least, will reach the surface. Is that everything? There's one more line. Go on, please. P.S. Let my sister Elena know that I love her, and I am proud of her. Okay, so anyway, that's as far as I've designed that event. There's going to be some more. There's going to be an interlude. Elena will leave and sort of be on her own. Mr. Bones will come and talk to her. Mr. Bones is not secretly a skeleton, but he is secretly a... Well, not so secretly now. He is a lich. Ah, okay. I appear to have through turned on my character and have not turned it off. Okay, that's something that's going to have to be fixed. Postal 2 Redux has been around since no one told me? I guess. Yeah, that'll have to be fixed. But the point is that now Wallachia is basically in a tier 2. And everybody's going to have, like, different dialogue. Okay, you should not have a direction fix on. This is the storehouse, which you're now able to access. Previously, the guard stood in front of this door, and there was no way to get inside the storehouse. Now you can. And if you come in here before then, basically this pillar is just going to be stuck in front of this door and will not move. So, it'll be obvious there's a secret passage there to the player. The shops actually get a new tier of gear that you can buy. And it is some pretty damn good stuff. And it looks like I calculated the amount of cost pretty well to the bottle caps that you could have. So that's all functioning. In the course of the additional events I'm going to design, Bisterbones basically convinces our heroes that they're going to have to head down to the Grim Furnace, get the implements so that they can unlock the seal and go down into the really, really old, ancient, evil necropolis that Elena's sister had sealed off, and confront the Hydra and finally destroy it. So he suggests that you go down through the mines, and now the elevator can be used to access either the armory or the mines. Which I think is working. So this is the armory. And this goes down to the mines. Alright, so the first layer of the mines are very organized, very structured, very linear. Well, at least the paths are linear. They do branch, but it's very organized. It's meant to really give the feel that this is something that's been, like, carved and made artificially. Up in the top right corner, we have the entrance to the Flesh Dungeon. And the Flesh Dungeon is a lot more disordered. A lot more, like, it's a combination of both man-made and natural caverns. We've got all the fleshy bits that are doing well. There was actually so much here in the map that it lagged pretty badly. I actually had to go back and remove a lot of the doodads to improve the performance. But down here, you can also find your first pieces of... That is supposed to be bottle cap or level 2. Okay, why don't I... Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, so bottle cap ore level 2. So a whole new tier of crafting recipes is being added as well, and I want to get those events put in today. But eventually these caverns lead to here, which connects to the Grim Furnace. And that's where we're going to have a fight against, like, the Dark Dragon, Lich Dragon, something like that. That's where we'll get the implements that are used to unseal the caverns to the ancient necropolis. And, yeah, that will be the next part of the act. So, I've built a lot, but there's a lot more to do. Suleiman, you ask when you will be useful. So... I need you to come up with a history for the necropolis beneath the necropolis. These days, Wallachia and even, you know, the dark temples underneath, these are benevolent places. These are places of genuine faith and a genuine respect for life, both, you know, before and after death. These are not evil places. The ruins below were evil places. This place originated as something much darker. that was eventually rejected and sealed away. Perhaps the False Hydra is even something that they created in order to wipe away the memory of their former atrocities. It is a dark and twisted and evil place where terrible things have happened in the very distant past. I need you to come up with pieces of lore for the necropolis beneath the necropolis, for pieces of history of the true darkness that was sealed away, rejected, forgotten, and moved on from long ago. Because I felt like that is something that your talents would be well suited to, and something that I suspect you are going to enjoy. Now, where the hell are we activating that through? And also, we need a way to make sure that you can't just backtrack. So we're going to make this a storage opening primer. If that switches on, it will carry out the storage opening event. So back in the elevator, we really want... we really don't want this to do anything until they can come back. Otherwise, they could potentially backtrack the entire way and kind of break the sequence. So we're going to add an Elena here, and she's just going to be like, we have to keep moving forward for now. That will work. And then the book event is going to make sure it activates the priming switch for the storage opening. So now the storage won't open when you just approach it from the other side. And I'm assuming that this one is applying a through command to the player. It's actually not. That's interesting. Where the hell are we applying that through command? Is it something I did here in the basement? I don't know why I would have applied a through to the player here. Is it something I didn't notice here in the armory? No. When is that happening? What if Mr. Bones, at a moment in history, tricked the townsfolk to help him become a lich? So, I don't want Mr. Bones to be secretly evil or anything. He's like an older... Like, he basically got lichified when he was, like, I don't know, 70 or something. You know, the other Lich Lords were like 150, 200. Like, this guy was young. And he's basically just been the last one standing by default. He doesn't know everything. He knows more than most because after his body died, he was no longer subject to the forgetting that the Hydra causes when it destroys its victims. So he knows more of what's going on than the other people around him, but he knows a lot less than others did that are now gone, and he's genuinely trying to help. He just, you know, he also didn't really want to just be running around saying, hey, by the way, I'm undead, while the city was thinking that the undead were their enemies. Oh, was it this? No, that didn't apply a through command either. What the hell activated the through command on my player? There's only a few more events I could have interacted with. Okay, this didn't activate a through. Did I mess something up here? Get him, Thatcher. Good work, Thatcher. Okay, that's not activating a through command either. What is toggling through? What the hell toggled through? That's not toggling through. Okay, this shouldn't work. That's not working. That's good. Okay, I should not... Okay. No. This isn't a through. This is just a tile set error. Where the hell do I toggle the through? Whatever it is, it's clearly happening after here. So I don't know where it's breaking. But I know that putting something here will be sufficient to fix it. And that's just as good. So through off, that's fine. Next thing we need to fix the tile set. So this is an inside passage, that's fine. Is there a chat delay? It's probably somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds for a typical chat delay. But if you did just post some lore or something, then it did not pop up. And I cannot account for that. You can try sending it in smaller bits, or you can see if there might have been, I don't know, something in it that it would have tried to censor out or something. I don't really know the particulars. Yeah, I don't see any other message from you on my end. Okay, so that should have solved this problem. Okay, yes, that solves that. Sending a screenshot on Discord. Thank you, I appreciate that. I hope that you found this a task well-suited to your talents. So I know that this is not the most well-written bit of dialogue. Dialogue has always been one of my weaker points as a writer, unfortunately. But does the gist of this work for you guys? Like, is this plausible? Does it sort of make sense? I mean, I'm not trying to write, like, you know, Final Fantasy here. I do not have the experience and skill necessary for that. But at least I'm trying to write, like, I don't know, a Dragon Quest 1 or Dragon Quest 2. I think that level of quality is within my capacity. Okay, thank you. Let me bring this up, and I will actually go ahead and read that. Okay. Read at a deep, serious and deep voice. Old Metropolis, a city hidden down below. Everything they believe. Death is natural as birth and shouldn't be interfered with. They tried to create a Hydra to protect the city, but failed to save the rest of the world from the false Hydra. They sealed themselves underground. Interesting. Okay. I'm kind of thinking something more along the lines of not so much that it was like a big ancient city, but something more like a cult or something. I don't know. It's a good start. It's a good start. I appreciate that. It's a good spot to work from. So this is going to be interlude scene 1. And we're just going to get rid of all the NPCs here. Basically, we're just going to do a few scenes. So Elena read the letter. She's realized that the boss zombie we fought down in the armory was her sister, who is a lot stronger than the other zombies because she basically half-liched herself. She was able to retain much of her power and ability, but still wasn't able to retain her awareness. And, you know, it's tough for her because she didn't even remember that she had a sister. So she's just going to sort of wander off and be by herself a minute. Okay. So we're going to auto-run this. And we'll just show Elena. Actually, we can have Elena sort of start here. And she's going to move a little slower. So down, 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 right, 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 down, down, down. Okay, so we need a couple extra downs, a few more rights. We're not going to wait for completion. Preview. Okay, that works good. And then at the same time, we are also going to have the player move with them. So that the player is basically like serving as the camera for the scene. And so we can have the captain for a cult. I know what they worship. Okay. Go ahead. Throw out any ideas. This is where we're kind of gonna be spending a little bit of time fleshing out like story. I'm actually gonna turn on some music because we're gonna be here a while. I need something sad. I need something sad for Elena's scene. What does that sound like pitched down? The bells don't really work for the vibe. No. Not quite, but getting closer. Oh, that might work. Oh, I'm asking you, what do they worship? So the very ancient times, the first ones who started experimenting with this magic, These were true necromancer death cultists. They worship immortality. They worship life beyond death. So if there's some kind of otherworldly force that first gave them some of this knowledge, that would work. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, I think this might work. Maybe. So basically spawnism that has been going popular. I'm not too familiar with that. Ooh, ooh, wait, I'm seeing this one in my head. It's about when you die, you respawn and relight. Ah, yes. When we die, we return to lobby. Ooh, wait. Wait, I've used this a few times. Yep, that's it. MV Theme 2 at pitch 80. That's the one. Okay. MV Theme 2 at pitch 80. Okay, that's fine. We need to plan our next steps. Okay. And then Elena is going to excuse herself for a minute. So she'll say, "Please excuse me." And seeing Elena move down, left, left, left. Left, left, up, up. Left. Okay. Alright. I think that's good. This one we will wait for completion. And then we'll have Thatcher comment something. She'll be like... Okay. So, moving from here... We need Elena to go left, up, left, up, 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 and then disappear. Okay. And this one we are not going to wait on. She will just continue moving while the dialogue pops. Dialogue logs keep going. Quill, have you heard a new color has dropped? Before Half-Life 3 and GTA 6? No surprise there. Hell, there's even been a new video of ball lightning. It's amazing the things that came out before those. Okay, should we... And let's have the captain, and he's just going to be... leave her be for now. Okay. And then that is when we are going to fade out the screen. And after we fade out the screen, the player is going to get through and transparent. And then we are going to do a transfer to interlude scene 1, where the player starts right here. And then we fade in the screen, and that will be good for the first part of the interlude, I think. So I think that's going to work. So then we have the interlude scene. And then we're going to have interlude scene 2. But we're going to go ahead and tent it as night. And we're basically going to do it instantly, but wait for completion. And we want to get rid of all the unnecessary events and NPCs. Okay. I think that will work. So we're going to put another event Elena right here. Interlude Elena 2, who is going to auto run and begin the route. Elena. Interlude Elena 2. Down. And right. Need 2 more rights. And up. Okay, we need about 5 more ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a couple rights. Let's remove one of the rights and one of the ups. That should put her... Whoops. There we go. That should put her right here. Okay, that's good. And we do not wait for completion. But we do wait for completion for the player who is moving the same path in order to serve as the camera. Okay. And we'll get rid of the boat. And this does not have a display name. This is Interlude Scene 2. Music MVT 2 2080. And we're also going to add some crickets. Okay, that's MV Night. Basically indistinguishable. We got a Harpy Cowgirl, Tomodachi Life 2. Okay, that's actually Tomodachi Life 2. That's a hell of a point. Okay, so Interlude Scene 1. After all of that, we are going to fade out. We are going to transfer to Interlude Scene 2. And then we are going to fade in. Okay. Let's test this now. But I don't want to go through the entire sequence again. So we are going to test it right here in... Let's see, my last save... we'll just put it here in the armory. So we'll just put a thing you can interact with to trigger that and make sure it's working. YouTube hates me. I'm sorry. That always sucks when YouTube won't get your messages sent properly. Sending a screenshot. Thank you. Okay, this time I'm actually supposed to be walking through walls. This scene is good enough, so we're going to let this one play out, and then we're going to drop one of the debug saves. Okay, debug save, code 003. Alright. Oh. Okay. Immediately seeing a small problem. Let's fix this. Oh, also, this girl's supposed to be wandering around in tier 2, but she was, yeah, she was direction locked. This also does not need to be direction locked. This does not need to be direction locked. And we need to change the player's speed so that they will, keep pace, since the whole point of this is that they're trying to serve as the camera. So basically, Elena's going to walk outside, she's going to be alone with her thoughts, and then Mr. Bones will come and talk to her a bit. Okay, I've gotten your second screenshot. Old Metropolis. A city run by a cult that believes that death is not the end. They messed with necromancy by trying to revive a Hydra, but failed and created the false Hydra. They realized their creation couldn't be controlled to protect the rest of the civilization. They sealed themselves away underground. There! That's pretty good. I like that. Thank you, Suleiman. Alright. Let's check this now. Okay, this works. This works really well. It needs to be darker. Suleiman, you have always been useful, and I appreciate... Oh, you are repeating the movements. Why did you start moving again? I don't understand. It's just because I haven't put another event there. Okay. That's fine. It is not dark enough. Honestly, we really don't need the screen tinting event here. We can just put it here. So we want it to be dark. Let's actually make it like proper dark, and we're even going to up the grayscale a little bit. And we'll give it like 30 frames where the sound is playing. Do you need an idea for a character to join your team? Not right now. We already know that the next big thing that's going to happen as far as team composition goes, we're going to have another run-in with Quartus, and then the character after that is going to be a friendly feral cat boy. Which I know I have a note about here somewhere. But we're gonna have a friendly cat boy join the team next, I think. Okay. So Elena is here. So we need interlude Mr. Bones, who's going to be positioned here. And let's just take a bunch of this crap off of the event lists for now. We really don't need anything else moving around in the city at this point for the interlude scene. We don't need anything else to be processing. Okay, I think that's fine. I do want to add a fade out the BGM over 2 seconds. And we're gonna wait like 90 frames, a second and a half, before we do the transfer. My idea was just a zombie that can remember everything that happened before it's dead can be useful as a secret party member. Hold on. Hold the hell on. Hold the hell on. Okay. One of the things that I was going to add as a treasure was the expired Pepsi accessory, which prevents all enemy encounters, except of course forced ones, but at the cost of just crippling the speed of whoever is wearing it. So if you do go into a forced battle with it, whoever's wearing it is basically crippled. I also knew that I was going to have a zombie Zolter Zeit. And then I realized that these two combined perfectly, and I could actually have the expired Pepsi be found on a wandering zombie Zolter Zeit. What if finding Zolter Zeit does not only give this accessory, but give some kind of power to Malter? Hold on, hold on. Do you know what's a katar? You mean a punch dagger? Yes, I'm actually quite familiar with almost all forms of fist dagger weaponry. They're actually some of my favorite types of weapons in the world. I do have a fondness for martial arts, and I've trained Taekwondo, Karate, and Aikido. Taekwondo more than the rest, although I never did achieve a black belt ranking. And I do have a fondness for hand-to-hand combat, and katars and other weapons that work well with, like, fist combat styles are very, very appealing to me. Okay. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from just having, like, Zalter Zeit. I could do something else with Zalter. But I think I might already be getting pretty complicated here. We keep on adding new features, and it's really slowing down the ability to progress the actual game. I'm not going to integrate that right now, but I am thinking about, like, I am running that one. I'm letting that one run in the back of my head right now. Okay, so Elena's going to have 2 silences and then a frustration. And before the frustration, movement route, interlude, Mr. Bones, change his image to Mr. Bones. Up, 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 up. Okay, but one away, he is going to keep his distance a bit. And we're going to have a silence play on the interlude Mr. Bones. And what he'll say, in my RPG, there's a character who is heavily punching based, and his gloves, his choice of weapon always give him more defense, except the Katar, which trades defense for the second highest attack buff. Well, second highest attack buff for him. The first is his ultimate weapon from an optional boss. Nice! I like that design. Just let it out. Whatever it is, you'll feel better. And so Elena expresses frustration. Elena turns down. Elena says, I can't. I don't even have the words. There are no words for this feeling. Okay. And whoops. Don't want to cut that. Want to copy it. Copy it. Mr. Bones, silence. Mr. Bones turns right. Maybe even I'll make the Qatar to give him more speed, because he and his sister in the party are both poison and defense base, so the Qatar will make him stand out some more. That's a good idea. Okay. Okay. Elena will also turn right. And there's going to be a long pause. 2 seconds feels like a long pause. And Mr. Bones will talk about some of the people he's lost. I had a wife before all of this. I don't remember her. But the signs were unmistakable. And this time Elena is the one who doesn't have anything to say. I was 70 when I died. Old enough to have had children that were grown. I don't remember if I ever did. I can't even guess at how much has been taken from me. From everyone. Idea lowered your whiz. What if Zolterzite worked as the old Pepsi? You're saying, what if the Zolter himself served as the accessory? Interesting idea. I suppose I could have, like, his head fall off or something. I could do something like that. Okay. And Elena will be like, What are we supposed to do? And Mr. Bones will say, the only thing we can do and they'll look at each other. Nope, Mr. Bones turns up, not down. Elena turns down. We keep moving forward, and we do what we can to stop anyone else from going through this. Also successfully made the cheats moves work in my game, though it'll be more hard, but it wasn't really. Else from going through this. Okay. And then Mr. Bones is going to move down, down, turn right. And pause for a moment. And then he's going to show frustration and anger. And we carve every last bit of our rage into that damned monster. Okay. So, Elena, move down, down, down. So, Elena will be standing here. Bones is here. Bones goes down 2 and turns right. So, Elena should go down 3 and turn right. And she'll say, let's see. When this is over, will you tell me about my sister? And Mr. Bones will say, it would be an honor. Okay. And then they slowly wait there. While the screen slowly tints to black over 3 seconds. And the BGM fades out over 3 seconds. And the BGS fades out over 3 seconds. So now the screen is tinted. We fade out. We retint the screen back to normal. Okay, and then... Okay, while we're faded out, we're going to go back to... We'll give a little note, and then we will return to the temple basement. Player facing up. We set the movement route. The player's speed has to go back to normal. The player has to have transparent turned off and through turned off. Okay. And we control the switches. We're going to have Wallachia briefing part 2, which is going to turn on, and then we're going to fade in. Okay. So now we need a new event page, and this one's going to be Wallachia briefing part 2, which is also going to run automatically, and which is going to go to self switch B, which disables the entire thing from running an additional time. And part 2 start test. Okay. So I think the interlude is done. Welcome back, Suleiman. If you don't remember the cheat moves, for 50% of either HP, MP, or TP, you'll get 50% of either HP, MP, or TP. Now, since the character who learns the cheat moves has low base health and defense, but high magic defense, yeah, HP cheat is the worst. I mean, if 50% of your MP to get 50% of your HP and TP are amazing, since it's on a character... Ah, I see what you're saying. Yes, that is a good mechanic to introduce. Okay, so for part 2, let's have a few of the characters gone. And this one is going to appear at Wallachia briefing part 2 facing this way. And we're going to arrange the notes a little bit differently. Okay. Let's copy those pages. Add them to the table. Okay. So for briefing part 2, we're going to make this the captain. For briefing part 2, this is going to be the officer. This is going to be the part 2 captain. This is going to be the part 2 priestess. This is going to be the part 2 Mr. Bones. Scene Mr. Bones / part 2 Elena. So Elena's going to go there. This is going to be part 2 Malter. Okay. And just a few more to go before we test this. We want to make sure that the event page orders are well set. That's really important. Okay. Tip, if you want your game's community going crazy, putting a wrong model that shows up for a single frame on accident. I don't think that's necessary. Also, Quill, I found a plugin that lets you put in battler character animation for enemies. And since the battler sprites are easily editable, I think we all know what that allows. Yes, but does it animate those sprites? Like, does it make the enemies go through the animations? That's what I need to know. It does. Okay. Whoops. Okay, I just did something. Toggle skip. You can skip cutscenes. Interesting. Okay, so Wallachia briefing part 2 on and we're going to put that in the basement with the player facing right here. The player does not need to have their movement conditions altered. Interlude scene 2. Transparent off, through off, but the character is going to be placed here, facing right. Okay, let's see how it looks with part 2. Cole, why are you surprised? You said you'll use that in the game where you can. Just say no. I'm trying to do this project without getting too much into plugins, like, at all. If we start introducing plugins to the community project, then we're basically going to have to basically accept that there's no real limitation to what we could do within the engine. Oh, the cutscene skipping. Oh, that? I'll probably... I'm gonna have fun with that later. Like, at some point I'll have an obscenely long, very boring scene, but give the player the option to skip it. And, like, tell them up front that you could skip this. I'll do something fun with it. But, not for right here. Okay, let's take a look. Part 2 start test. Okay, alright. So... everybody's looking okay. No, that wasn't supposed to be tier 2. This is supposed to be briefing part 2. This is also supposed to be briefing part 2. Okay, and then Thatcher is just gonna sort of be hanging out. Thatcher can go up here, actually. That'll work. Be Wallachia briefing part 2, Granny, go. Okay. Because of my birthday, my family brought me 8 packets of popcorn. Ah! Okay, I am going to take just a quick couple-minute break. So I will be right back. Okay. I am back. Let's get back into this. So, the second part of this scene... we are going to rearrange some of the materials that they are looking at. Okay. So there's a map here. There's a book here. And a couple new ones. Let's see. Okay. And that will be a quill. And briefing part 2, this will just be a stack of papers. Okay. Let's evaluate the entire event in full up to that point. We can ignore that for now. And this is where we are really going to start taking notes to make this flow better. Okay. We have to keep moving forward for now. Okay. Tile set seems to be fixed. We can't move past the book. That's good. What's this doing here? So we're going to sort of think about different ways of doing dialogue. What's this doing here? Wait, what is all this? There's so many whats in this scene. Surely I can think of better ways to do this. A book. What is it? Looks like a bunch of pages, documents, records. Looks like a bunch of notes have been tucked inside. Diagrams, map, indexes. There's a letter too. What does it say? It's... Well, go on. We're actually going to adjust this into its own scene. Adjust the book reading into its own scene with separated party. I'm starting to think we're actually going to win this. You need to get this to the captain, but where are we? We were going up for quite a while. We must be back on the surface. Okay. So we go through here. The guard moves. Elena? How'd you get in here? Oh, where to begin? Actually, you should probably just call the captain. There's a lot we all need to talk about. Okay, the following day. So we are all in agreement then. I believe so. Strange as it sounds, it seems the tale Mr. Bones has shared with us is true. This line of dialogue doesn't really flow for me. Let's see. We found hundreds of documents hidden away just as the letter suggested. They support everything. Still uncertain if we can really trust all of this, though. Maps, ledgers, reports, plans, some dated decades ago. It would take 100 scribes years to forge all of this. Forge all of this. And to what end when we are already so weakened? This needs to change. Why didn't you come forward sooner, Bones? I did. This is the third time I've sat in a meeting similar to this one with the ever-dwindling leadership of this once proud city. We sit, we talk, we plan, remove, we try. People die, and then people forget. Well, this time it seems we have an advantage. Lena, will you please read the letter you found? Yes, Captain. My fellow citizens of Wallachia, if you have found these words... It's like, reads like a politician. My beloved Wallachia, if you have found these words, then I am dead and forgotten. In life, I was Alana, a guardian in service to the Temple of Death. 4 days ago, I set out to subdue the vile horror. 4 days is short. Change 4 days to 10. 10 days ago, I set out to subdue the vile horror that has decimated our people, armed with an ancient blade of tremendous power. The Hydra stalked me from the shadows. I feigned ignorance of its presence. When it finally struck... it's fine, Suleiman, don't worry. When it finally struck, I was more than ready, and I dealt the monster a dreadful wound. The beast fled. The beast fled, and now I was the stalker. I tracked it through the cavern, through the darkness of the lowest caverns, by bow and magic assailing it whenever it slipped in range. I realized, no, we're going to say I knew it was leading me into traps. I knew it was trying to lead me into traps. Pitfalls. collapsing tunnels, old magical wards, and dens of vicious beasts. NPC ideas. Each time I perceived it failed to catch me unaware every time. Each time the false Hydra fled deeper, into ruins older than I ever knew existed. Dark and evil places sealed off long ago. A necropolis beneath the necropolis. That doesn't really flow well. Cole's NPC, can we talk about an RPG he's developing? NPC is based on your community, for example. I do plan on having an entire town to be populated by people who have been contributing to the community and the project. It's basically going to be like a city that serves as like a credits and acknowledgement. So that's something I do have planned. Catch me. How do I want to express this? Because a necropolis implies like a whole city. It wasn't really like a city. It was more like a cult, a temple. Dark and evil places sealed off long ago. What's the word? Abattoir is a synonym, but that really refers to like a butcher. A mortuary, temple, cathedral, I need something with a very grim, very foreboding cadence and implication. Honestly, crypt works. A crypt temple beneath the necropolis. Mausoleum. Mausoleum works. Even though mausoleum is basically just another term for crypt, it carries a grander implication that I think is appropriate here. Quillopolis. That could work for the for Chat City. There I fought the beast one last time and wounded it once more. But this time it managed to wound me in return. No, we can move that. In our final battle, we both managed to wound each other. We both fled that battlefield, it into the depths, and me toward the surface. I thought I might manage to make it, but now I can feel some vile venom from that thing burning its way through my body. I will not survive. In hopes of ending this threat once and for all, I have bound the only passage into the ancient ruins with the most powerful seals I can cast. The sealing implements the ritual tools I cast into the chasm. I cast into the grim furnace, where I pray where I hope they will remain until another can find them and take up my task. Okay. The seal will not hold forever. For myself, I have one last distant hope. I know a little of the magics by which the List priests preserve their minds beyond death. I intend to attempt the same, though I expect I will fail. In case I do, I am making note of everything I can think might be important, along with where to find the... Okay. Making note of everything I think might be important, along with as many records from the temple library as I can carry. That much at least will reach the surface. Okay. Is that everything? There's one more line. Go on, please. P.S. Let my sister Elena know that I love her and I am proud of her. We need to plan our next steps. And Elena says, please excuse me. So she leaves. Should we leave her be for now? Okay. So Elena needs to move and disappear. Change Elena to through when leaving the basement. Okay, and now we have the interlude. So let's see if all this works. Okay, tinting needs to happen before the screen fades in. Tinting needs to happen before screen fades in. Okay, it looks like good proper nighttime. Okay. Remove double silence at interlude 2. Just let it out. Whatever it is. You'll feel better. I can't. I don't even have the words. There are no words. Okay. Lose the... I don't have the words. I understand. I had a wife before all of this. I don't remember her, but the signs are obvious. I was 70 when I died. Old enough to have had children that were grown. I don't remember if I ever did. I can't even guess at how much has been taken from me. From all of us. What are we supposed to do? The only thing we can do. We keep moving forward, and we do what we can to stop anyone else from going through this. And we carve every last bit of our rage into that damned monster. When this is over, will you tell me about my sister? Okay. Add a pause after Bones' outburst. It would be an honor. Adjust player camera position for interlude 2 and go down with Elena. The meeting continued long into the night. Okay. Is this right? We have the Let's start with player characters. We've got Ryu, we've got Elena, we've got Malter, we've got Thatcher. We've got Mr. Bones. There's 2 Elenas. Okay, remove dupe Elena. We've got the captain, the sergeant, the other captain. We've got the priestess. We can move Ryu over a spot. Move Ryu to where Malter is, and move Malter to near Thatcher. Okay, and then through is not on, so that seems to be functioning. There is so much I have to adjust now. Let's get into it. It'd be a good idea if the community NPCs said stuff like bestiary, so useful when adventuring. Everybody will have the chance to basically say what they want their NPCs in the community city to do. We will definitely have a chance to design that. It'll be a fun project when we get to that. Okay. Okay. So first, a book. What is all this? It looks like a whole bunch of papers have been tucked inside. Okay, next one is, where are we? Don't need to have the even. It is an unnecessary modifier. Where are we? Okay. Adjust the book reading into its own scene with a separated party. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. So we have scene Malter. Scene Thatcher, and scene Elena. So when we interact with the book, the first thing that's going to happen is that we briefly fade out. We turn off player followers. We're going to put on some music because this is going to take a few minutes to adjust. Then we need to have scene Malter look like Malter. And turn right. And scene Thatcher needs to look like Thatcher and turn left. And then finally, scene Elena needs to look like Elena and turn down. And finally, the player needs to move left and turn down. Okay. And then we fade back in. And the balloon icon is going to go on Elena. And we have a balloon icon start on Elena first. Question, what is this? Say... I think we're actually going to win this. We need to get this to the captain. Malter has a question. Where are we? Player questions as well. Okay. So then we fade out the screen. We change player followers back on. We hide the various scene NPCs. We move the player one to the right, turn down, and gather followers. And then finally we fade back in. And so that's how we do that scene. And that should all work. Yeah, they're all listed as below, so they shouldn't block the path. Alright, bye, Suleiman. Thank you for coming by. Alright, so interlude... No, basement scene 1. Following day... Okay, so she's gonna say... We found hundreds of documents hidden away in the temple, just as the book suggested. Okay. Everything seems to support what Mr. Bones has told us. Okay. My own investigations had the same result. It seems that all of this is true. And the captain is going to express this, his uncertainty. I am still hesitant to trust all of this. The priestess goes down. It would take 100 scribes years to forge this. It would take 100 scribes years to forge all of this. And be like, what do they say? And for what purpose, when we are already so... And for what purpose, when we are already so weakened? Captain be like, why did you not come forward sooner, Bones? Okay, and Bones says, I did. We talk, we sit, we talk, we plan. People die, and then people forget. Okay, so we have a lot of changes to make to the letter. Okay. And... But it seems this time... It seems... we may have an advantage this time, though. Elena, will you please read the letter you found? Yes, Captain. Okay, so she starts reading... there's gonna be so much editing here. Okay. Honestly, I think it's going to be easiest to edit this. If I just do it in a document and then paste it back in bit by bit. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I always knew that I was going to have to make a good number of changes to all of this. Keep going, keep going. Wow, that is a lot of text. But it is kind of important information. Sealing implements. Cast into the Grim Purple. Okay. So this is the first major thing. Okay. My beloved Wallachia. If you have found these words, then I am dead and forgotten. In life I was Alana. 10 days ago, I set out the beast fled, and now I was the stalker. I knew it was trying to lead me into traps. Okay. I knew that it was trying to lead me into traps. Traps. Pitfalls. Collapsing tunnels. Old magical wards. And dens of not viscous, vicious beasts. Okay. And dens of vicious beasts. It failed to catch me unawares every time. The false Hydra fled deeper into ruins older than I ever knew existed. I need an adjective here. Something necropolis. Or something mausoleum. A twisted mausoleum beneath the necropolis. Okay. There I fought the beast once more, and we were both gravely injured. We both fled that battlefield. It into the dark, and myself toward the surface. This is just going to be, I will not survive for much longer. And if I return to the surface for healing, I fear this venom could... I fear this poison could spread to others. Get rid of that. I have found the only passage into the most ancient ruins with the most powerful seals. With the greatest seals still within my power. The ritual implements. I cast into the Grim Furnace, where I hope they will remain until another can take up my task. The seal will not hold forever. Now, the seal will not hold back the false Hydra. The seal will not hold back the false Hydra for more than a few months. Okay. Alright, and now we are just going to delete all of those messages. Nope, cancel that, cancel that. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, I need to make some changes. Okay, that's fine. Grab all of this. People die, and then people legit. We may have an advantage this time, though. Elena, will you please read the letter you found? Yes, Captain. Ahem. Okay. So she's just going to start with ahem. Alright. And let's start copying this all back in. Do y'all truly want Doom's Call references in the community RPG? I don't know what that is. If you have found these words, then I'm dead and forgotten. In life, I was Alana, a guardian in service to the Temple of Death. 10 days ago, I set out to okay. Doom's Call is my RPG. That's up to you. When we get around to designing like a community credits village for the game, if that's something you want to be there, that's going to be fine. If it's something that you don't want there, then it won't be there. To subdue the vile horror that has decimated our people, armed with an ancient blade of tremendous power. The Hydra stalked me from the shadows. I feigned ignorance of its presence. Okay. Feigned ignorance of its presence. When it finally struck, I was more than ready, and I dealt the monster a dreadful wound. And I was the stalker. Alright, does all of this fit? Yes, it does, all except for the final word, the. Alright. So, last word was of. Okay. Closed caverns, assailing it. Assailing it whenever it slipped in range. Knew it was trying to lead me into traps, pitfalls, collapsing tunnels, old magical wards, and dens of vicious beasts. It failed to catch me unawares every time. The false Hydra fled deeper into ruins older than I ever knew existed, dark and evil places sealed off long ago. A twisted mausoleum beneath the necropolis. Okay. So here's the next batch. No. Okay. Tunnels was just a little too far. Whoops. Tunnels, old magical wards, and dens of... Okay. Dens of. That's as far as that one goes. Of vicious beasts. Catch me unawares every time. The false Hydra into ruins older than I ever knew existed. Places sealed off long ago. Does this all fit? God, no, it doesn't fit. Okay. Catch me unawares every time. False Hydra fled deeper into ruins older than I ever knew existed. Dark and evil places sealed off long ago. Sealed off long. Okay. Sealed off long ago. A mausoleum beneath the necropolis. Fought the beast once more, and we were both gravely injured. We both fled... Whoops. We both fled that battlefield. Okay, that fits. Myself was the last word in that one. Okay. May manage to make it, but now I can feel some vile venom from that thing burning its way through my body. I will not survive for much longer. And if I return... Okay. I fear this poison could spread to others. Period. I have bound the only passage into the most ancient ruins with the greatest seals still within my power. Okay, with the greatest seals still within my power. The ritual implements us into the Great Hurt. Okay. The ritual implements. I cast the ritual tools into the Grim Furnace, where I hope they will remain until another can take up my task. The seal will not hold the Hydra for long. The seal will not hold the Hydra for long. Will not hold back the Hydra for long. Okay. So that whole intro dump is done. For myself, I have one last hope. I know some little of the ritual of the magics of undeath by which the Lich Priests preserve their minds beyond death. I intend to attempt the same, though... Okay. Go back to neutral face. Neutral face. Though I expect I will fail. In case I do, I am making note of everything I can think might be important. And have grabbed as many documents from the library as I can carry. That much at least will reach the surface. I hope it will be enough. Okay. And then, is that everything? And this time, Elena reads, we need to plan our next steps. Elena says, please excuse me. We add a through on Elena here. Okay, that's good. Interlude scene 2. The tenting needs to happen after... before the fade-in. So that needs to go into Temple Basement, fade-in, interlude. Make that 5 frames. Okay. Next, remove double silence in interlude 2. add a 1-second pause here. Lose the I don't have the words. Whatever it is you are feeling, you'll feel better. And Elena fires back. There are no words for this feeling. Okay. I understand. Turns right. But the signs are obvious. Signs are obvious. Add a pause after Bones' outburst. Okay, we're going to remove one of the ups. And we're going to wait like a third of a second. Okay. Signs are obvious. We add a slight pause here. We add a slight pause here. We add a player movement here. We do not wait for completion on Elena's. That adjusts that. Okay. Good. And then back in the temple basement. We remove the duplicate Elena. We move Malter next to Thatcher. And we move Rio here facing up. Okay. Alright, that is every note that I made for fixing this. Let's make sure that all of this works. If it does, we are going to stop with event design for today. Part 2 of the briefing I can still design on my own. That's not going to be a problem. But I do want to move on to some of these other things. Since so much of today has been event work, we're not going to update the crafting system today for the new stuff. But we are going to make a few treasures. So let's take a look. Actually, first, okay. Armory boss, self-switch, a... Elena will comment, like... That was no ordinary zombie. And... Malter will observe... Whatever it was, it's gone now. Okay. And then... it'll be like... let's keep on going. Okay. So that should work. Let's go. Grr. Again, this boss fight, this is not the final form of the boss fight. Okay, Rhea's party was victorious. That was no ordinary zombie. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Let's keep on going. So I think this is ending with a turn up command, and we don't actually want it to have a turn up command. I think it's better if the gate is actually manually controlled. What sound works good? That works fine. We'll just increase the pause. Armory gate opened. Armory gate opened. This disappears. Okay. Let's give most of the townfolk in that community and give you something like an item. If that's what people want their person to do, then yes. Okay, Thatcher. Okay. One note I already want to do. Have somebody in the meeting comment on the weapons and armor they found. Okay. No ordinary zombie. Let's keep going. Okay, but now I'm not able to travel through that. Great. Why was I not able to travel through that? Mark that as through, I guess. And while we're at it, we can go ahead and add the dialogue. And not to mention that Armory has enough supplies to strengthen our entire force. There we go. Already pitched an item that your stand-in could give. True. Alright. Let's keep going. Good work, Malter. Thatcher, do your thing. Okay. Perfect. Okay, the gate works. So we should be able to leave and go back. Okay, that's pretty good. There's actually something I really should check here. Did I make it so that the zombies disappear? Oh dear God, I'm going to have to add a barracks emptied to every single one of them. Wait, no, surely I already did that. Surely I perceived this. Barracks emptied. Okay. Excellent. Okay, that is set. So that works. Crowbar allow you to use heavy metal bash. Okay, I think. Oh. Okay. That's going to have to be fixed. Fix the tile set or just add some event. Okay. A book? Wait, what is all this? It looks like a whole bunch of papers have been tucked inside. Diagrams, maps, indexes? There's a letter, too. What does it say? It's... Well, go on. You know, I'm starting to think we're actually going to win this. Okay. Add some balloon icons to elevator event. We need to get this to the captain. But where are we? We were going up for quite a while. We must be back on the surface. Okay. Remove question bubble. This all works. That doesn't let you back. From the pause, I thought Elena can't read. No, she can read. She was just reading. Elena, how'd you get in here? Oh, where to begin? Actually, you should probably just call the captain. There's a lot we need to talk about. The following day. So we are all in agreement, then. We found hundreds of documents hidden away in the temple, just as the book suggested. Everything seems to support what Mr. Bones has told us. We really should just put the book on the counter. Well, we can assume one of those is the book. Everything seems to support what Mr. Bones has told us. My own investigations had the same result. It seems that all of this is true. I am still hesitant to trust all of this. Maps, ledgers, reports, plans, some dated decades ago. It would take 100 scribes years to forge all of this. And for what purpose when we are already so weakened? Not to mention that Armory has enough supplies to strengthen our entire force. If you knew all of this, why didn't you tell anybody? That line needs to change. Fix the guard dude's dialogue. I did. This is the third time I've sat in a meeting similar to this one, with the ever-dwindling leadership of this once proud city. We sit, we talk, we plan, we try. People die, and then people forget. Okay, that line needs to be redone, too. Fix the bones line. Some of those got changed when I had to back out. Whoops. Okay, add a weight to the last of the group silence bubbles. We may have an advantage this time, though. Elena, will you please read the letter you found? Yes, Captain. Ahem. My beloved Valakia, if you have found these words, then I am dead and forgotten. In life, I was Alana, a guardian in service to the Temple of Death. 10 days ago, I set out to subdue the vile horror that has decimated our people, armed with an ancient blade of tremendous power. The Hydra stalked me from the shadows. I feigned ignorance of its presence. When it finally struck, I was more than ready, and I dealt the monster a dreadful wound. The beast fled, and now I was the stalker. I tracked it through the darkness of the lowest caverns, assailing it whenever it slipped in range. I knew that it was trying to lead me into traps, pitfalls, collapsing tunnels, old magical wards, and dens of vicious beasts. It failed to catch me unawares every time. The false Hydra fled deeper, into ruins older than I ever knew existed. Dark and evil places sealed off long ago. A twisted mausoleum beneath the necropolis. There I fought the beast once more, and we were both gravely injured. We both fled the battlefield, it into the dark, and myself toward the surface. I thought I might manage to make it, but now I can feel some vile venom from that thing burning its way through my body. I will not survive for much longer, and if I return to the surface for healing, I fear this poison could spread to others. I have bound the only passage into the most ancient ruins with the greatest seals still within my power. I cast the ritual tools into the grimmed furnace, where I hope they will remain until another can take up my task. The seal will not hold back the Hydra for long. For myself, I have one last hope. I know some little of the magics of undeath by which the Lich Priests preserve their minds beyond death. I intend to attempt the same, though I expect it will fail. In case I do, I am making note of everything I can think might be important, and have grabbed as many documents from the library as I can carry. That much at least will reach the surface. I hope it will be enough. Is that everything? There's one more line. Go on, please. P.S. Let my sister Elena know that I love her and am proud of her. We can just remove the P.S. The part that says P.S. We'll leave this. We need to plan our next steps. Please excuse me. So Elena turns to leave. Should we... Oh, I didn't add through to Elena. Should we leave her be for now? So then we have the interlude. Oh. Okay, change the screen tent location. Change the screen tent to only happen when outside. Just let it out. Whatever it is you are feeling, you'll feel better. I can't. There are no words for this feeling. I understand. I had a wife before all of this. I don't remember her, but the signs are obvious. I was 70 when I died, old enough to have had children that were grown. I don't remember if I ever did. I can't even guess at how much has been taken from me, from all of us. What are we supposed to do? The only thing we can do. We keep moving forward, and we do what we can to stop anyone else from going through this. And we carve every last bit of our rage into that damn monster. When this is over, will you tell me about my sister? Have player camera move with Bones, not Elena. Have a pause after Elena moves and before she asks. Add bubble. It would be an honor. The meeting continued long into the night. Part 2, start test. Okay. So all the important people are here. The letter still needs to disappear. Oh. Why are you here? You should not be there. Were these two just always... Oh my god. Wallachia mission complete. Okay. There is something I have really missed. Follow me, we need to talk. So we go back to the Wallachia Temple. Okay, so we have the briefing. Okay, so it controls the switch invasion over. Alright. So these two were things that I needed to fix a while ago and never did. You disappear with invasion started. You disappeared with invasion over. These two were always supposed to disappear on invasion over. Okay. Quill, what's the closest type in this to metal? I could just add a metal type. Nothing would stop me. Well, I also have a hobby hack of Pokemon Leaf Green. I kind of need to buff Hisuian Electrode. Do you think plus 20 attack speed, better bulk, or better coverage? Hold on one moment. Let's take a quick look. Oh, no. You're going to be listed under the... there we go. Hisuian form has soundproof, static, and aftermath. I think, honestly, add a metal type. We can get around to adding stuff like that later. That's not going to be our focus for today. Honestly, I think the real thing we need is more HP. Um, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I have an idea. I have an idea for you, Cole. And I don't know if you could integrate this, but I do have an interesting idea. Could you create an ability where if Electrode is at full health and uses self-destruct or explosion, instead of fainting, it would go down to 1 HP? You could let Electrode utilize its signature explosive potential once without fainting. Can't change abilities. Okay. Honestly, Hisuian. Hold on. There used to be a mechanic whereby rollout was stronger after you use defense curl, I think. I think that used to be a very obscure capability. So if you add defense curl to Electrode and increase its attack stat, then you could give it an interesting combo. I think that's actually a very interesting idea. That's the best thing I can come up with off the top of my head. All right, back to all the things that I have to fix here. Let's see. So in the armory, we just put some same as character blocks here, and then you won't be able to move through them. Balloon icons to elevator event. Light bulb. Where are we? Player question remove. Okay, that's adjusted. And we need to make a couple switches that we previously already made, but then accidentally erased, and now we need to fix them again. Why didn't you come forward with all of this sooner, Bones. And then Bones replies, I did. We remove the try because it rhymes with his next line, and we don't want that. The guard, last one, so he gets the wait. Fix Bones' line. Add a wait to the last group of silence bubbles. Yes. Remove the part that says PS. Add the through to Elena. We were adding the through after she was already trying to move to that spot. That's why it didn't work. Change the screen tent. Okay, so we remove that. We go to interlude scene 1. Transfer the player to interlude scene 2. There is where we add the tent screen effect. And the player needs to move with Bones. The player does not need to turn right, but it should wait for for the player camera movement, but not for Mr. Bones. That should be fine. We add a bubble to event Elena. Again, the silence, wait for completion. When this is over, will you tell me about my sister? Okay. Every single one of those should be fixed now. And we're just going to make this, instead of an open book, it will just be the closed blue book, so it's a little more active. Which is dumping DAT points to special attack. A stat GAT chomp doesn't even use, and Electro is even worse because it only learns like full or physical moves. Only has 30 BP, isn't worth it. Could be a special attacker. Electrode has always existed in a position where its primary function is just to rely on its speed. Either to hit off a paralyze or to get off a like a revenge kill. That's always been like Electrode's purpose, I think. And we need to make sure the letter disappears for Wallachia Briefing Part 2. Okay, so Part 2 is functional. Or, well, we can get into Part 2 now. Accidentally closed my notes. Let's bring those back up. Yes. Stream project notes. Okay. I think we are good. I do need to add new crafting recipes. Tactical gear, tasty amulet, crystal blade, necromancer's rod, tactical helmet, reinforced mask, and reinforced breastplate. It's a whole... How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new recipes I would need to add. Basically, every time I add one new crafting ingredient, the number of things you can craft that I have to make is one more than the previous time I did it. So let's go to the crafting logic. So bottle cap ore level 2 is ID 96. Okay. So ID 96, you jump to label 6. So we're going to have to go all the way up here. And add this. Because this is now a new label. This is label 6. And we want 4 comment lines for the label break. Recipe break. If ID crafting 2 is 96. Oh boy. Okay, I need a whole pile of switches. Tactical gear crafted. Tasty amulet, crystal blade. Tasty amulet crafted. Crystal blade crafted. Necromancer's rod, tactical helmet. Whoops. Tactical helmet crafted. Reinforced mask and reinforced breastplate. Okay. Reinforced mask crafted and reinforced breastplate crafted. Okay. So this is going to be for the reinforced breastplate. So if reinforced breastplate crafted is equal to true, craft reinforced breastplate question mark. Yes, no. How many will you craft? 1, 2. Event processing. Craft how many equal to the amount of bottle cap or level 2. Multi-craft check. Exit event processing. The results are unknown. Would you like to craft? Yes, craft. Decrease the number of bottle cap or level 2 by 2. Increase your armors to add reinforced breastplate. You have discovered the recipe for making reinforced breastplate. And turn on the switch, reinforced breastplate on, label, jump to the label end. Otherwise, craft items, bottle cap or level 2, divided by 2, craft how many, double layered craft mail, which gives you the reinforced breastplate. You crafted variable reinforced breastplate. Oh, boy. Oh. It is always such a hassle adding new stuff to the crafting. I mean, I say that. Honestly, this is not so bad. This is fine. And then the rest will be, like, decently easy to make. It's not going to be a problem. Ooh, here we go. Okay. So now we copy all of this. And, oh, nope. We copy this one. This is bottle cap ore and bubbling water. So we put one here. And we go to the recipe break. Okay, if crafting ID 2 is 96. So this is tactical gear. So if tactical gear crafted is on craft tactical gear. Yes, no, how many will you craft? Bubbling water, check. Bottle cap or level 2. Don't have enough materials. Bottle cap or level 2. Add the armors, tactical gear. You discovered the recipe for making tactical gear. Turn on the switch that you have crafted tactical gear. Otherwise, bottle cap or level 2. Armors, tactical gear. You crafted tactical gear. Okay. That is 2 more spots. There we go. On this list done. Honestly, modifying these events is just going to be easier. It's just going to get simpler and simpler to adjust it. Now that I have a pair of those. Humans are 7-hole donuts. You know, I can't argue with that logic. Okay, I didn't get to everything I wanted to do today, but I did get pretty much the big thing that I wanted to get done, which was to finish creating this scene, making sure that it functions. Okay, design briefing part 2. This is the stuff that I'm going to work on this week until the next stream. I think that's pretty good. There is one other thing, though, I want to do before I end today's stream. Let's actually jump to the Gotcha project. and make one more character. We actually have this lovely gallery that we've kind of got in place here, showing off the various characters. You can definitely see your Aerie there. Honestly, I really haven't done much with a character whose, like, primary color is red right off the bat. So we're going to work on designing a character that is red. I also think, weirdly enough, I've managed to accidentally get, like, a perfect mix of male and female so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 male, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've somehow accidentally come up with 5 and 5. Is there a sun attacker? I think so. No, there isn't actually. There is not a sun attacker. Alright, then that's the one we are going to design to end the stream today. Number 34, sun attacker. We're going to go with female again. This time we're actually going to try to go for something that's like, let's see. First off, no clothing for the level 0. Glasses from the start might be fun. Yeah, I can play with that. Hair, I think that's fine. Ears are fine. Eyes, adjust a little bit. Eyebrows, that's fine. Nose, we haven't really gotten any, like, nice big-nosed women. Yeah, I think that works. No clothes for level 0, because level 0 is the absolute weakest they can be. So this is number 34. Sun attacker. Sarah. As in, like, seraphim. We'll go with that. So, 34, Sarah, update. 34, Sarah, attacker, sun. Walking character, 34, Sarah. And this time we will not forget the battler, which is going to be 34 Sarah 1, since I changed my naming convention, because that is much easier. Alright, let's give Sarah some clothing. Let's see. Oh, a hoodie. Okay, that's fun. Okay, hoodie is fun. Red top, pink shorts. Can't even tell what this is changing. Oh, it's changing the color of the undershirt. Sure. White undershirt, and this... I have no idea what that's changing. But that's fine. Okay. Import 34. Sarah. Sarah, you get a hoodie. Congratulations. And Battler. 34. Sarah 2. Flara. Flara is not a bad name either. Okay. Now we need to escalate this a little bit. Okay, that works. Let's change the front hair a little. Okay. The back hair. Sure. Okay, that's enough changes for the tier 3. And the tier 4. And the Battler. 3, 4, Sarah 3. And now we start fiddling with the outfit. So I do kind of like this hood. Honestly, when the hell am I ever going to use this hat? Like, why the hell not? Sure, that's fine. And then I can put something kind of subtle on. Yeah, just some, like, basic earrings. Can you put a propeller on the hat? I cannot. And let's make it a blue gem. And now we're actually going to change the glasses. There we go. Whoops. Nope, not that one. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And the walking character. And the Battler, which is 3, 4, Sarah 4. Okay. So now, how do I really take this design to the next level? I don't think I can really keep with something with a hoodie, which kind of sucks because I think the hood looks so good. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna stick with the red. Pink is fine. Oh, that's like changing the color of that stripe. Okay. And then the last part is the boots. And we can go red for the boots. Let's also adjust the colors of the hat. Like that. And let's adjust the mouth. And let's also change the back hair. Okay. Yeah, it absolutely is the propeller hat design, just without the propeller. Okay. And finally the battler. This is 3-4 Sarah 5. Okay. So now we need to change the hat. I think going with a hood really works here. Okay. There we go. Tinted shades. And we really could use something else here. No, that doesn't really do it. I mean, I could randomly throw some wings on the back. That'll be good for the next stage, I think. Okay. It's definitely worth moving away from the heavy red the further we go, because more and more characters pick up the reds. Alright, so now we need to really do something more extreme with the final design. Honestly, I kind of like the hood. But we do want to change the colors. Okay. Change the clothing. Whoa. Okay, that outfit's crazy. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, the main outfit. We can stick with a red. Um, we can put like a shawl over the top. That kind of works. A nice white color might contrast a bit. We make the glasses even cooler. And then we can put like the eyes behind it a bit. We can play with the eyebrows. We can do something more fun with the front hair. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do that. That's probably about the best we can do. We did call her Sarah. So we could put some wings back there. Okay. This will be Sarah tier 7. I'm not totally happy with the design, but it works well enough, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So Sarah would come after Sola. No, wait, they're 34. So, uh, they're between Airy and NFT. And boop, 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 boop. Let's add them to the gallery. All right, let's see how they look. I think that works pretty well. It has a lot of red when not a lot of other characters have much red. And eventually transitions into more of the pinkish focus. I think that looks lovely. Okay, and with that, that is going to be the end of today's stream. Good stream. Got a lot done today. Definitely still got more to do. That makes it 11 out of 18 characters. So I still have to design some more. I still have to build a lot more stuff just for the skeleton of the system to work. Most of the work going into this gacha is just building like the skeleton, just getting something in the system to actually function. Once we do, it's going to be pretty simple to actually pull characters, put them in your party, upgrade them, so on and so forth. All right. So that's going to be it for me for now. I am tired. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, I'll see you back next week. It is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.